Hey, I'm out of tune. I'm out of tune. It's too high for me. It was too high for me. Yo, it was too high for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, so basically when I was younger, I had this affiliation with computers, if you like. Like all my stuff, I never fully got into them, like was able to code or anything like that, because I've never put too much too much time into any one thing. I just like what comes my way, or what I like to go with the wind too. And if I go by feeling, if I'm not feeling it, I don't do it. And call me lazy, but whatever. And I used to play this game called Leisure Suit Larry, if anyone remembers that. It was made by Sierra Games, and there was a part of the game, it was a funny game for however old I was. Must have been about 8 or 9, I think. Yeah, because he was a pimp, and at one stage to keep up his pimp activities, Leisure Suit Larry has to go to the casino, and there's some games you can play, and blackjack was one of the main ones that I would play to raise funds. Yeah, I think I said that for his exposés. And with blackjack, I used to sit and think. I used to try and, with my mind, make a certain outcome happen with the cards in how they fell. And I just swore to God that there was a correlation between me doing that and having, let me think, I don't know what I was going to say, but there was a correlation between me doing that. Bear with me. Yeah, of thinking, a correlation of thinking as to what would be the results. So I'd try and talk nice to it. I'd try and not crack the shits, because if I was cracking the shits, I thought it wouldn't go my way. And as the years have gone by, I've got a bit of a take on why that is. I'll say now it's simply because we're similar to them. And I've since found out that, if anyone else has found this out, about randometers, that they've positioned randometers, or it might have been, they've done this experiment. It might have even just been a heads tails randometer. And what they would do is put them around the world and then have a group of people, or even one person, think towards a certain outcome being the outcome, or they would pray to it, or whatever the group would do. I'm not sure. But they found out that our thinking, which they think is our consciousness, affects it. So it must have a consciousness. Everything is conscious in actual fact, but that's another. Well, I'll quickly say that everything's conscious because we're just a set configure of elements. So where does the consciousness start and begin? So that means that everything has to be conscious to a certain degree. Yeah, and humans are the most conscious things on Earth. So, and they could be one of the most conscious things in the universe, I'm not sure. But, well, they very well could be. The universe is maybe smaller than what we think. But anyway, like it's as big as it is, but it's actually tiny. But, on the grand scheme of things. So, the randometers, so that the people affect the outcome. So we are intrinsically connected with electronic devices or computers. And I thought to myself over the years, and as a young kid, well, for starters, it makes sense, it's just electricity. We, as is above, so is below, which I learned at a young age. You know, it works on electricity, the universe works on electricity, everything else works on electricity. So we're connected to everything else as well, which I believe too, that our thinking, this is another thing I thought, that our thinking affects inanimate objects. We make them break and stuff sometimes. Yeah. And the randometer, and so it's electricity, and electricity is basically going in different directions and maybe at different speeds, I don't know, through components of like a circuitry. But it's basically being manipulated to go forward and left and right. And possibly it goes backwards too, I'm not sure if electricity can do that. But yeah, just bear with me again. Because when I sort of forget, it's because I'm working out something else, which I don't know what it is half the time. And so they're going left or right, and it's just ones and zeros. And within our brains even, you know, the electrical pulses are going down the pheromones or whatever they're called. It's not pheromones. It's going down the little veins and all that, and the blood, even the way that goes. And it's going left and right depending where the vein is, if you can picture that. So it's essentially light as well is well, it goes in one direction, but then it hits stuff and it gets reflected. It can change directions. It's just simply going from A to B. As is above, so is below. If it works on one dynamic, it works on the whole dynamic. Through transposition, you can work this stuff out. You might not get sort of what I'm saying, but if you think about it, you will. Yeah, and so then I was thinking that we are just like computers, and the fact that it's got a hard drive, which is like the brain, it's got the CPU, which is sort of, that would be part of the brain, and the memory would be part of the brain. It's just that our brain has those things encapsulated into one, whereas in a computer it's spread out through the components, and it's based exactly on what we are based on, right? It's the start of what we are, because just like we are made in the image of God, then I'm just listening to the song, which I don't know if this picks the song up. Yeah, and we're made in the likeness of God, and so are computers. They're made in the likeness of us, because just like God has created everything everything that we see so it can learn about itself, we are making computers which now through neural networks are even more working like humans. So, I mean, I was thinking this when I was a kid. So it's evident even more that they're becoming more and more like humans, even the way they're built. And it's because we're making a mirror. We're learning about ourselves, how we were built. Because God built... Look, AI, maybe we are AI. This is the other thing I go into. Possibly we're AI. And it's just, we're making it again to... But sort of, it'll be able to go longer distances and stuff and go into space and whatever, where we're restricted because we're more complicated. And then I'll go as far as to saying that just as we are a set configuration of elements, and I've almost finished, so is the computer, and eventually becoming like more humanized through neural networks, and then being put into a body. Like, we'll refine the bodies, and eventually they might even become sort of biological. Like, if we get advanced enough in being able to create that. Yes, and then I'll go as far as saying that they're just a set configures of elements that maybe when it gets to a certain level of humanoid, boom, it has consciousness and souls then get put into it. Because maybe the only reason why souls get put into our bodies is because it's built for it. So the souls can actually get in there and do their stuff. And it might be with agreeing. The souls need to agree on the, yes, that would be it. There need to be agreeing souls that before they jump into it. But I would have to say, because everything's consciousness, I also believe everything's conscious. I sort of believe that there's souls within couches and TVs and what else am I looking at? Jackets and paper towels and glasses of water. That there's souls that maybe that's it, they jump in and jump out because they need to experience, different, and they're at a different level, because 2 comes after 1, 3 comes after 2, 4 comes after 3. Everything's a hierarchy and has a set thing, and I've forgotten. That's okay. What's that? I don't know. This is a cool song. Right, I'm going to go now. Oh, I almost got it at 13:13. So we're gonna get it to 14:14. Yeah, 14:14. That's gonna be the time I stop this. 14:14. Never give it a miss. We're gonna have fun today. I'm never ever gonna walk away. Yes, yes. Everybody, I am blessed. Bum, 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 bum. 14:14, and I'm putting this up to YouTube. I don't care what I sound like. Coming up, smoke a bomb.